Danganronpa.
What's going down, my paisanos? I just threw those glasses that I've had for a really long time and I just found them a couple days ago. But what's going down, my paisanos? Aside from that weird intro, because I stopped using my other intro, welcome back to a brand new special KamyKam video, and today we're back with a brand new tier list video. Wait. A tier list video? If you guys didn't know, I actually did a waifu tier list video a couple months back, and that was the only video about, I guess, tier lists in general that I was supposed to do. But here we are, and this video is all thanks to Jordan, who commented on one of my last videos and said, hey, you should probably do a Danganronpa execution tier list. Now, unfortunately, we won't be able to do every single game in this series because as of right now, I still have actually not played V3 at this point in time, but I'm still making my way through that. Just beat Chapter 3's class trial and going to Chapter 4, which a lot of people say that Chapter 4 and 5 are fucked. And you guys are probably saying yes in your minds, but aside from that, I haven't done the entire series as this point in time, but I have already played the other games, of course, and I thought that, as a compromise for now, because, if this video does do well, then I'll probably do the rest of this series. I will do the entire series, going from Danganronpa 1 to 2 to V3 to probably the entire series in general. And yes, I will include Danganronpa 3. Now, if you're wondering how this tier list is actually going to play out, we got a couple little ranks here. First off, we got the lame as fucked tier, you know what I'm saying? This is the D tier. Nobody cares about this. They're lame as fuck. They're trash. Alright, we also have the C tier, which is I, which is basically just saying, yeah, it's I, you know what I'm saying? Not much to say about that. Then we got Pepto Bismal, which is the B tier. I forgot. You know what? I'm not going to lie. That's a good name for the B tier. But the Pepto Bismal tier is, the B tier. It's got a little spice to that. It makes me it actually makes me compare it to a certain type of medicine for your bubble guts. Also, we got the A tier, which is I throw up now, because that is how that freaking execution makes me feel, which obviously is the penultimate type of tier. And we also have Despair, which is the S tier, which by far is going to be the most gruesome, the best, also the bloodiest Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. So without further ado, let's get into this amazing video, which of course is going to be really fun, so I hope you guys enjoy. So first, starting off here, we're going to go from top to, not top to bottom, but up to fucking bottom to top. And the first one we're going to do is, I don't have another one for the, actually, you know what, hold on. So, at the bottom of the tier list, we have Makoto Nagi's ultimate punishment, which is actually not the ultimate punishment, but after school lesson. Now, let me tell you right now, you're probably wondering, Makoto dies? No, obviously. If you're saying that, then you obviously haven't played the game. Go on ahead and play the goddamn game, you fucking narc. But anyway, basically, Makoto's execution, by far, is the worst execution, probably in the Danganronpa series, actually. Maybe not the entire series, but it's really bad because, you want to know what really makes it bad, y'all? You want to know what really makes it bad? All right, let me just tell y'all, okay? Okay, let me just bring the microphone, as you can see, closer. He doesn't die. Did you know? I did it!
You serious?
Yes, the reason why that this is actually the worst execution, in my opinion, is because Makoto doesn't actually die in the execution, and although it is a really awesome, I guess, twist and turn of events, nobody dies, so it doesn't really count, to be honest. That's why I feel like that's lame, in my honest opinion. But yeah, nothing really much to say about that, but this after school lesson really does suck. Okay, now the next one up is the Cage of Despair. What is this called again? Yes, the Cage of Death. Now, I know this is a very, very popular execution in the Danganronpa community because of the fact that this is the execution where Monokuma actually turns Mondo into butter, which, is just an amazing meme or whatever. But on all honesty, the execution itself is really fucking lame because all that happens is Monokuma rides with Mondo on a motorbike or a freaking gang bike with Mondo in the back, just kind of rolling around at the speed of sound like a hamster ball or something. And it's really lame because all that really happens, like you don't even see like Mondo really do anything. He just kind of has his eyes twist, crazy colors going on while, you know, Monokuma actually has a hula hoop for whatever fucking reason. It's really, really lame to me. Not as lame as Makoto's execution, but it's pretty far up there. But with that being said, that's pretty much it all for the lame tiers. Now we're gonna move on to the Ayats. That is so weird saying "ite" in plural. I've said that before in one of my other videos, but ew. Okay, so moving on to the Ayats here. The first one I want to put in here is Jin Kirigiri's. Oh, fuck me. Get Jin Kirigiri's death from Danganronpa 1. Now, obviously, Jin Kirigiri's is actually the first to happen in the entire series. Not chronologically, but in terms of release order and how the game plays out. Because it's actually the first thing you actually see when you boot up the game. Actually, not when you boot up the game, but when you start the game itself. At the time, I didn't know who the fuck this guy was. I honestly thought it was like a tech demo or something at the time when I first saw it. I thought it was just a way to show us, hey, this is how people die or something in this game or whatever. But it is a real person. It is Kyoko's dad. And yeah, later in the game, you see his corpse in a box, and that's pretty fucked up. But in all honesty, it's a very lame execution because all that really happens is the guy's tied up in his chair, you know, it's all right, whatever, and then he's just flown up into space somehow with freaking weird, crazy looking moons and suns or whatever looking down at him. As he's going back down to Earth, he's probably burning up from all the heat going into the atmosphere, and then after that, he just kind of pops out as some skull and some bones, and it's really cartoonish. You know, maybe if there was like a burnt corpse up in there, I probably would actually raise that a lot higher, but it's really cartoonish, and honestly, it's alright. See, it fits with the name. So the next execution, which I actually have been very debatable on, is Versailles State, or the burning of the witch, or, you know, Celeste's execution, and it won't move. Thank you, Jesus Christ. Now I'm ranking this execution in this tier because I do like the concept. You know, at first when Celeste is burning, it's really, really fucked up. But when the fire truck comes in, you know, you'd think when the fire truck came in, it'd be like, holy shit, this is like gonna be crazy. It's gonna be like a bloodbath. But no. What happens is, what really kills the execution for me in the end is when Celeste is actually run over by the fire truck. Celeste isn't there anymore. For a split second, she just kind of disappears, and she's not even there anymore. You don't see her body fling back or anything. You don't see any more extra blood or whatever. No, she just kind of disappears, and that's what made the entire execution really lame to me. And that's why I consider it to be in this I guess tier list, because it's alright. I mean, at first, like I said, it's cool, but you know, the fact that you don't actually see the body fling back or anything, nah. Alright, that's gonna be it for Ayats. I feel like I'm doing my outro. But anyway, we're going to move on to the Pepto Bismal tier, which is obviously the B tier. Now, this is where stuff starts to get a little bit more fucked up. Things are going to get a little bit more controversial. Obviously, so hide your kids, hide your wife. Don't go to Walmart because they obviously don't have any people over there because of the coronavirus. Anyway, it's real. First one I want to add here is 1,000 Blows. This is the first official execution resulting from a class trial from the series. Now, obviously, you know, this is one of the biggest freaking executions in the series. It was carried over from the beta version of the game. There's a lot of different interpretations of it, and honestly, you know, this is the one that a lot of people probably think of because this is how Leon dies. This is the first murder of the entire series, you know. And honestly, looking back to Leon's face before the execution even happens, you know, to a lot of people, it really fucks him up. Honestly, to me, it just looks like he's on some damn freaking meth or some other type of extraterrestrial drug or something. But, you know, looking at his face before the execution happens is really fucked up. But the execution itself, if I'm gonna be completely honest, isn't really all that bad, to be honest, because from the way that Danganronpa is and how over-exaggerated some of the executions are, the way that Leon actually takes the actual execution is he takes it pretty hard, I guess you could say, because he's being like pelted by 1,000 baseballs all around his body. The only time where the execution kind of gets fucked is the ending. A lot of people would say that, you know, it makes it it's a really queasy feeling seeing Leon's eyes open when he's being pelted by all those balls, because they obviously hit him in his eyes and all that stuff. Then after that, the baseballs start coming, and then you see Leon's actual silhouette just hanging there lifeless. And just saying that out loud sends chills up my spine, to be perfectly honest. Like I said, it's a really iconic moment in the Danganronpa series because it's the first execution. But in all honesty, like I said before, it's not really all that crazy of a death in my eyes, to be honest. But it did set the standard for the entire series, bar none, honestly. To say that it's a really good one, it's probably stretching a little bit. There is actually some actual art of Leon's corpse just kind of hanging there in like a magazine. Actually, you can actually see that Leon actually took out one of his arms somehow and from the straps. Don't know how he did it, but he did. And you probably would think, like, what would happen if he actually got his whole body away? But obviously that's where the despair comes in, because that never happened. You could hope for that to happen, but obviously that's only in hindsight, because it already happened and Leon's already gone. So yeah, that's B tier. I think we actually might have 2 executions per tier in this list, honestly, because the next one is going to be Excavator Destroyer. Weird hard word to say that. Very weird tongue twister, I should say. This is the execution, obviously, of the alter ego of Chihiro, basically AI, whatever. Just lots of names you can call her. But this is a really fucked up execution because it's the 4th class trial execution. Because Sakura actually suicided, there wasn't really anybody to really kill, because there wasn't really a black end besides Sakura, and she was already dead. And since Monokuma already found out about the whole alter ego thing, or Junko we should say, it basically meant that, hey, how about we wreck your dreams of ever getting out of here by destroying the one thing that could have got you out of here. And you know what, honestly, my first time that I watched this execution, just roll the clip.
No!
Phil! Dude, what are you doing? No? What's going on? No!
He lifted his helmet. No. Stop it. Excavator Destroyer!
Yeah, that was a really hard time for me. It's coming up in the Let's Play, by the way, so if you guys want to see the actual full reaction to that, the Let's Play will be coming up soon on VigiCam. Shameless plug. But in all honesty, this execution is really, really fucked up, because, it's like seeing something happen, like really, really bad happen to somebody else that you really love, and you just want to say, you want to do something, You're like, oh my God, stop it, you can't do this to her. And it just keeps going. That person keeps punching the life out of her. Just keep going and keep going. It really hits home to me. And that's why, I have a really intense reaction to that execution, because it's really fucked up. You can't do nothing about any of these executions. You just sit there and watch it. And that's what made it absolutely horrible. Against the Excavator too. What could you have done? What, pushed up Monokuma out from the seats or whatever? It's crazy. I mean, I understand that AI, alter ego wasn't actually a real person, but fuck that shit. She was real to me, damn it. She was gonna help us get out. I mean, although in the end, thank God that she helped Makoto not get killed in that one execution. But still, it's one of the worst in the series in my honest opinion, and it's for a freaking laptop. Crazy how freaking attached I can get to these characters. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for the Pepto Bismal. See, I sound like I'm just doing an outro, but that's gonna be it for the B tier. Let's move on to the I want to throw up tier, which is A. Ooh, obviously we're gonna get some crazy things up in here. All right. Well, the first thing I want to do here is I want to say that the after school lesson version is of Kyoko's after school lesson is going to go to the I want to throw up thing, because what happens is if you call Kyoko out on her live, then you die. Well, you don't die, but she died, and she's found to be executed. And after that, there's like that alternate ending where everybody just kind of lives in Hope's Peak Academy, and they just live out the rest of their lives. And Hina just has like fucking 3 baby daddies. That's fucking crazy. Anyway, it's one of the most craziest executions because the first time I played the game, I actually did call Kyoko out on her lie by accident. I'm not too sure why. I haven't watched it recently to understand why I did that. But I did call her out on her lie, and I saw the alternate ending, and it fucked me up because I legit thought that was the ending somehow. Honestly, I could have seen, like, at that point in time, I was so new to Danganronpa. I saw that kind of happen. But, you know, looking back, it's really a fucked up execution because that's what could have happened to Kyoko, and she was squished to death. And God, like, I can't, like, you know, Makoto and Kyoko had a really bad reaction to it. But I don't know what it is about, I guess, Kyoko, because I guess Kyoko's just awesome like that. Seeing Kyoko getting crushed by the thing and her reaction towards it, I honestly can't, like, I can't, my stomach, whenever I see her face before she dies, I feel like I want to throw up, which obviously is respect to the term, but I really do want to throw up because she looks like she's sick, and then I get sick because she's about to get squished, and then it happens. Well, in all honesty, if I'd have to rate After School Lesson on a whole, I would say that After School Lesson goes to the B tier. I'm not the B tier, but the A tier. Now, with that being said, we're finally going to be putting in this execution, which is Junko Enoshima's execution, or as we like to really call her, Mukuro Ikusaba.
Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lay hidden somewhere in this school, the one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
Now, I know what you're probably saying. This girl did not die by a class trial, but that is the same thing when it comes to the blast-off execution. The blast-off execution was during the first part of the game. Nothing was happening, and all the characters were, I guess, asleep during that time. Jin was killed off by Monokuma himself. So Junko being killed by the spirits of Gungnir actually, to me, does count as an execution. So that's why I put this to the I want to throw. Now, obviously, let's be completely honest. There is no question on why I would put her this execution in the A tier, because obviously, looking at her, I want to throw up. This execution is really damn brutal, and honestly, one of the most crazy things about this execution is the fact that a couple of the freaking spears go through her tits. I know to women, I know y'all hate it when freaking anything like just touches the tits, and the equivalent to that is like balls on a dude. So like obviously it just hurts to see the spears go through. Okay, I'm probably looking way too into this, but still, the execution itself is really fucked up. But it does actually, you know, illustrate that Monokuma at that point in the game wasn't fucking around. Sayaka died at that point, so you know we already saw some really traumatic stuff. But with Monokuma's seriousness and him, you know, probably people thinking that was a game, that went straight out the window after that scene. It really did set the tone. I will say that the 3 deaths in the series, Sayaka, Junko, and Neon, are some of the best in the series overall. Really did set the stone for the entire series. How many times am I going to say that? And without further ado, we finally come to our last execution. This should come by no surprise at all. This is the ultimate punishment, which is going to be ranked at the S tier, which is despair, which is kind of ironic. So, why am I saying that this is the best execution in Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc? Again, if you're asking that question, you're probably not familiar with Danganronpa at all. It's the best execution, obviously, because it's all of the execution, not the Junko one. Well, you know, admitted that. But it is all of the executions combined into one, except for that one. This one is fucking crazy. It honestly illustrates Junko as some type of like superhuman, some type of mutant, because at first it's like, you know, the ultimate punishment and whatever, and it just goes through all the execution, and then like Junko is taking it like a goddamn G. Like she goes through the 1,000 blows like it was nothing, just letting the freaking baseball hit her titties like it was nothing, fucking going through the freaking the bike thing like it was nothing too. I think she was like just chilling like this, I think. Then she was going to the Versailles witch freaking thing, you know, Celeste's execution, and she was like fucking meditating the entire time while a freaking fire truck fucking dropped on her. And then after that, she went on ahead, and I think that's when, I think that's when she died. I think that's when she died. And she, of course, went through a rocket to the moon and came back down, and she was fine. Like, how? How did that happen? And then at the end, she's finally crushed really gruesomely by the excavator. Not the excavator, but the crusher, which is really, really brutal. And I want to talk about that a little bit. You know, obviously from Junko's execution, that's exaggerated. How would somebody be able to survive something like that? Because, you know, obviously we know that Junko isn't superhuman. She is super high school level, but she still is human at the end of the day. So how would she be able to survive that? Obviously, we can deduce that, you know, the executions in the Danganronpa series are obviously exaggerated from what's probably actually happening to them. But Junko was crushed. But then there's another question. The ultimate despairs, which, wait, I can't talk about that yet. I forgot about that. With that being said, this is my tier list for all the best Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc executions. Now, obviously, this is a very small list, you know what I'm saying? We gotta keep it a little bit more conservative this time around. But I did want to illustrate, like, I guess, what my favorite execution was in the Danganronpa series. Obviously, in the order that I listed them, that's how I would list them. So obviously, you know, the last would be Makoto, and obviously my favorite would be the Ultimate Punishment. I guess you could say that the Ultimate Punishment, as being like my favorite, is very kind of generic and expected. But hey, I mean, come on, all the executions combined into one, like, come on, look at that. Now, I am aware of the visual kind of notebooks or novels, magazines, or whatever, actually detailing the actual scrapped executions for the Danganronpa series. You know, going from Sakura's execution to Makoto's, which was really fucked up, and like Tagami's and Hina's and all that stuff, and they're really fucked up executions. But you know, just judging from you know the official executions, this is how I would rate them, and that's all that really matters in the end. But with that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this tier list video. It's really been fun making this tier list video this time. The last one I made was really crazy, and I like making that too. And it's been almost a year since I made that one, which is fucking crazy as hell. But anyways, guys, like I said before, recommend me any type of Danganronpa videos that you guys want me to do in the future. I am actually thinking of a lot more ideas recently, but you know, I want to see what you guys actually want me to cover in the Danganronpa series. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go on ahead and go to sleep because I'm really, really tired, and I really don't want to think about AI, Ultra Ego's execution. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you guys like this video, like this video. And if you guys like you saw it and you want to see more, why not subscribe to the channel? I have a Twitter, which is KamyKam77, which you guys should follow, as well as a Discord link in the description down below. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. Have a good night, whenever you're watching this. And as always, alright, y'all. See y'all later.